everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody had a great week. Tonight I will be doing predictions for this upcoming week and next week. As much as I would love to be live on the air next Thursday sharing predictions with you all, I'll be spending Thanksgiving with family and friends, eating, drinking, and being grateful for the good and the bad of this past year. So I will be doing both, and we'll be airing this show again next week, and I'm sure most of you will be enjoying your Thanksgiving with family and friends as well. On a side note, really quick, Thanksgiving can be stressful, overwhelming, and it can be depressing for some people. There's so much expectation put on us, and remember to just stay in the moment, do what you can, ask for help if you need it, don't be afraid to say no, and most of all, just enjoy yourself. Let's get started with this week's predictions, which run through to next Thursday, November 23rd. These are general predictions for everyone in areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. So the general themes this week feels like it's going to be a busy week, but at the same time, it feels like it will be a self-reflective week. So I feel like you're going to be thinking about your life purpose. What is it? Are you already doing it? Will you ever figure it out? I feel like you'll be taking a look at your daily life, and I feel like, that's where you're going to have some realizations and some thoughts surrounding like, well, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I happy doing what I'm doing? Even taking a look at your daily life. Are you just on autopilot day to day? Are you aware of the decisions that you're making, or are you just, again, like in robot mode and, you're just doing things without being conscious of what's happening around you? Are you aware of things you're saying? To me, it's all about becoming aware of everything that will be happening next week. So you'll have a heightened sense of feeling love. I feel some of you will start to talk to your guides and the universe. I kind of feel like some of you will get braver. I kind of feel like everybody already, has this thing about their guides and wanting to connect with them. And but I feel like some of you are afraid to actually communicate or speak it, or even think it. So I feel like next week you're actually going to have that, conversation and say, hey, universe, I really want this, or I really need this, and can you show me a sign? Can you give me some guidance? And just ask, and I do feel you'll receive them. I feel like you will get the signs, you'll get the answers that you need. I also feel everyone connecting with beauty or seeing beauty in a different way. True beauty is when your inner and outer selves are in alignment with who you truly are. It's not that superficial beauty that I'm talking about. Your core being is reflected in your outer self and your home environment. This creates a state of grace and balance. So I feel you'll be creating more beauty this week in your physical self and in your immediate environment, which most likely will be connected to Thanksgiving and, or parties and different things. You might get your hair done or shop for something new. Maybe you decorate your house and you tidy up for guests, or if you're going somewhere. Again, it just feels like it's going to be a combination of physical outer beauty and then also some inner beauty and reflection about yourself and realizing just the true beauty of yourself. I do feel like this week there's going to be a lot of you who realize you've accepted yourselves, which is a good thing. I feel like you're going to be freely expressing yourselves like you haven't before. You won't be pretending to have a good time or not having a good time. Again, it really just feels like you're more comfortable with yourself. You're more accepting of yourself, and you just kind of have this I don't care attitude, and I feel like you might not even notice it at first, but it will be more along the lines like you won't be playing games, you won't be manipulating, seducing, or searching, but you will notice other people with that sort of behavior. So again, it's going to be this twofold thing where you're more conscious of yourself and the things that you're saying and doing, but then you're also more conscious and aware of what other people are saying and doing. And I feel like you'll notice and see who's, playing games or pretending to be something that they're not. Some of you will behave in this way out of habit. It's just old trigger things, like you're hanging out with your family, you get triggered in some way, and you might emotionally manipulate someone, or you might, just pretend, or whatever the case is. So some of you might end up doing it out of habit, but I do feel like you'll quickly realize what's happening, and then you'll be able to make that change. I do feel everyone will experience a feeling of connectedness and oneness this Thanksgiving. I do feel you'll notice how everyone is contributing in one way or another. To me, it feels like everybody's working together, you're enjoying time together, you're laughing together, you're debating together, maybe you're crying together, maybe even arguing together. But I kind of feel like it's going to have this feeling of oneness where it's like this well-oiled machine. Everybody is playing their role and doing their part, and so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for you. I'm also feeling some true love connections, so it'll be interesting. Maybe some of you are going to, Thanksgiving at friends' places, and you'll meet somebody new. Again, it just feels like some sort of soul connections. And even if you don't meet that person this week, I do feel some of you are very, very close to meeting your true love. Like it just feels like that one true love, you may just meet them this week, or may meet them in a couple of weeks, but I do feel like it's coming towards a lot of you. The one true love that you're definitely going to meet this week, I feel, is yourself. So that's a positive thing. Again, I feel like there's more of a connectedness with your own self and maybe loving yourself a little bit more. This week it will also be high energy, and it'll also be towards leniency, which to me feels like everybody's going to be a little more forgiving this week, and everyone's going to be a little more at ease, and everybody's going to be feeling good and energetic. I do feel like be careful this week with leniency with your children. I do feel like some of them take advantage of the fact that you've been letting them get away with things. And I just feel like if that's been you, this week practice the opposite, because to me it feels like that leniency could bite you in the butt this week, where you're not going to be feeling so good about your kids' behaviors, and because you haven't enforced certain rules, you might end up feeling embarrassed in certain situations. Overall, I feel like most people are going to be feeling kind and generous and caring, and I feel like overall it's going to be a good mood. Some of you may still be feeling stuck this week, or it may come up when you're connecting with others and catching up on what everyone has been up to the last year or two. I feel like you're just going to realize maybe you haven't grown as much, but don't let that be a negative. Just let that be a motivation for you to take some steps and listen to what other people are saying and what they've done to maybe overcome some fears or overcome being stuck. And remember, everybody's on their own timetable. Just learn from this experience and make it a positive experience. Don't turn it into beating yourself up and, feeling bad about yourself, because that's not the point. Work, for those of you employed, overall, I feel like there's, it's going to be a good work week. I do feel like there'll be some helpful men at work. And to me, it could be a woman as well, but with more of a male energy. So again, it's more along the lines of the male energy. So I do feel like you'll have some helpful people. However, I do feel like some of you may have to deal with some condescending men, or have some confrontation with a male coworker. And again, for some of you, it will be a woman with more of a male energy. So just be prepared for that. And if it happens, don't take things personal. Don't get into an altercation. For some of you, I feel like you've been dealing with these sort of people at work, and it's just, I think some people are going to be stressed during the week. Those of you that are looking for a job, I feel several of you will get new jobs. However, I don't feel like it's going to be next week. It does feel like it's a couple of weeks out. And, you know, just try to enjoy the holidays and keep sending out your resumes. Don't give up. You know, work on leads, connect with people, do what you have to do. Just keep pounding the pavement and know that it's not in vain. Right now it's holiday time, so it may be a little more challenging to get a job. Those of you that are in committed relationships, love, dating, you have the commitment thing going on, I feel like overall things will be so-so. So I feel like for some, those of you in love will be feeling more in love, and those of you who've been having troubles or have had issues, I feel like, you know, those may come to light even more this week, and you may see things that, you know, you're not happy about, but they help you realize what you actually want out of a relationship. So I do feel like there will be self-reflection and sorting out what you want and what you don't want. Give each other space if you find yourselves arguing. But overall, I don't feel like it's going to be too intense. To me, it feels more of an internal thing, and you're just going to realize, like, oh, I'm not really that in love, and I don't know that I have been in a long time, and, you know, figure out your role and just take a look at it. And again, those of you that are in love and you're happy and things have been going good, I just feel like it's going to be a really great week. Those of you looking for love, I feel a few of you may actually fall for an older man this week, or you might just, I don't know that you're going to actually maybe date this person. And again, you know, if you're a male, it could be a woman that you end up meeting that's older. At minimum, it'll be a crush, but I kind of feel like some of you might, you know, just enjoy the company and maybe go out on a date or two with someone who's a little older than you, but they feel kind, they feel warm, they feel energetic, and they feel like they would be a lot of fun. So go have fun. You know, it'll be interesting to see. Let me know, because I'm nosy. I love it. All right, finances. No big changes this week in the financial department. Just kind of, you know, don't overspend, don't hide everything away and be a Grinch. Don't take any huge risks this week. I do feel like some of you are emotionally tied to your job because of the people that you work with. But overall, you know it's not a good place for you to work any longer. But what's keeping you there is the financial aspect of it. And I feel like that's going to just come to the forefront of your mind more this week as well. Just, again, pay attention to it. I don't feel like this week is a week to make any unnecessary moves. Health, overall, health is good this week. Even if you do have something going on and you're dealing with certain health issues, I feel like everybody's going to be feeling pretty good this week. Two things that may be noticeable surrounding mental health is your self-esteem and self-love. I feel like you're going to have some, again, like things come into your awareness about this. How do you really feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? What's your self-esteem like? Are you insecure? You know, where's your confidence level at? These are things that I feel will be triggered, and even though you may not think they're tied to your health, but they are. And if you're not loving yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, well, then your health is going to go downhill. And if you have low confidence, again, you could get into that negative mindset, which then affects your physical body overall and causes stress on you. So take a look at that. I feel like it's going to be on the forefront for some of you. Spirituality. I do feel like some of you are in this spiritual phase of thinking you need to live in like solitude and need to be a monk and disappear into like the Himalayan mountains or something, where you feel like you just have to give up everything. And I understand that, because when I first started going through this process, I kind of had that same thing where you just kind of feel like, oh, I don't need anything, and you give it all away. Well, you don't need to go that extreme with it. You know, the only thing that you need to let go of is the past. The rest, like this earth is here for you to be abundant in multiple ways and have experiences of joy, love, and happiness. And, you know, you don't have to give things up in order to experience that. It's all about the balance. The one thing you do need to give up is your past, though, because you guys are just reliving the past over and over again. This week, too, you can expect to get more clarity on how much you actually love yourself. or maybe becoming more proactive in loving yourself. So it depending on where you are in your journey will depend on how you react to this, and we already talked about that in the health part. So, how do you expect someone else to love and care for you if you're not able to love and care for yourself first? So, again, everything is a mirror reflection. If you're not taking care of you, nobody else is going to take care of you either, because that's what you're going to attract. So that wraps up the predictions for this week. Now on to the predictions for November 23rd through to November 30th. The general themes for that week, to me, I feel a sense of all things are possible for this week. I feel most of you will feel the same. You'll feel as if you're gaining your power back. Power is the ability or skill to do something with strength and force. And true power is clean and honest. It comes naturally. It's not, you can't steal it. You can't possess it. You don't own it. True power is always merged with love and wisdom. So this week, I feel like you'll see those that you thought were powerful in some way or were more powerful than you. I feel like you'll see that they truly aren't. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. It's a disguise. And I feel like you're going to realize that and realize, oh, wait a minute, this person doesn't have any power over me. Like, they're actually in worse shape than I am. So again, it's about bringing this, awareness to your life so that you can see these things. I do feel like there could be more of this happening in the public arena too. So I feel like you're going to see more people coming out about sexual harassment, and you're going to see more politicians. You're going to see more things kind of crumbling. Those that are in power, who we maybe thought were so amazing and wonderful, or maybe even scary and, whatever, I feel like they're going to be crumbling. So the truth is going to come out, and I feel like more of that's going to be happening. I do feel like you'll realize you have more power and control over things in your life than you thought. To me, I feel like that's a good thing. Empower it, embrace, and, baby steps forward, and I think things will work out. I also feel like this week, I feel you'll find things that are expired. And to me, I feel like it's going to show up in a bunch of different ways, even down to like old stuff in your refrigerator and cupboards. Like you're going to see expiration dates. So the words that kept coming were like expiration dates. So I feel like there's expiration dates in your refrigerator, in your cupboards. There's old clothes. Like if you've got clothes in your closet that you haven't touched in like 2-3 years, for me, if it's been there a year and you haven't touched it, seen it, or realized it, get rid of it. It's expired. You don't need it. Pay it forward. Donate it. But more significant in this expiration date that I'm feeling and seeing really surrounds the bigger things in your life, relationships, jobs, and outdated ways of doing and being. It's really time to let go of more things from the past. Expect to experience a feeling of both being humbled and in awe, and mostly impacted our relationships. Again, I just feel like there's this breaking down and rebuilding. So if there's either going to be separations or there's going to be a deepening. And, depending on where you are in your relationships, you could probably guess which way it's going to go. This week, I also feel something unexpectedly inserts itself into your reality. And what I mean by that, I feel like for some of you, it could be like an unexpected trip that you weren't planning. Like maybe work all of a sudden says, hey, we need you to go out to California or something, and you go. A job opportunity may come up that's completely out of your skill set that will maybe cause you to second guess or question if you're even capable of accepting this opportunity. Again, it won't be something that you expect. It will be completely out of the norm. For some, I feel like it's going to be meeting up with someone that you have a really deep connection with, and that could be a friend, it could be somebody from your past. Like, again, it doesn't feel like it's someone that's in your day-to-day life. It's somebody that just pops up out of the blue, and you've just got this deep connection with this person. Or it could just be anything that is out of your normal day-to-day stuff. You know, anything that kind of seems impossible in some way or maybe miraculous in some way, I feel like that is what's going to show up. So whatever it is or however it shows up, don't run away. Go for it. Seize the opportunity. I feel like it will be beneficial. It's a journey to discover previously unknown parts of yourself, and that typically happens through change, and I feel like it's all positive, so please go for it. Don't be afraid. Most of you, I feel, that have been identifying with who you are by your outer accomplishments. And what I mean by that is maybe, you know, you attach who you are to your job. So, like, that's who you are. I'm an HR director. I'm a police officer. And I feel like you guys aren't recognizing who you are on the inside. And to me, this week, that will begin to shift. So no matter what happens this week for you, I feel like know that your happiness is not dependent on just one thing or a handful of things, and it's certainly not dependent on your job or these things that are material in nature. It really is much deeper than that, and I feel like you guys are going to start having an awakening towards that. Karma, I feel like, will be a hot topic again that week as well. I feel like we're moving out of a karmic existence, which is just cause and effect. So in order to let go of past karma and really work through the karma, you have to get clear on what your role's been and what karma you've created. And again, karma is just cause and effect. Like, you know, what did you do? What did you cause? And how did it affect you or somebody else? And how will it come back? And I just feel like it's going to come up. You know, I feel like more people are going to use I think most people already use karma, like something happens and they go, oh man, somebody's karma. I feel like it's just going to be there. And I feel you just acknowledge, accept, and move on. Fairness, balance, and harmony are also themes this week, which means you'll experience it in one of two ways, or maybe both. You're either fair, balanced, and in harmony, or things will show up in your life to show you just how unfair, unbalanced, and inharmonious things are in your life. So again, it's coming up for you to acknowledge, accept, and make changes to move on and have a better life. This includes how you treat yourself and how you think about yourself as well. That's very important. So make sure you're honoring yourself and you're loving yourself. Let's see, for those of you that are employed, for some, I feel like no matter what you do at work, you're not going to be able to please the owner, the boss, the coworker. And again, it feels like a male energy. So no matter what you do that week, it doesn't matter. You're just not going to be able to make anybody happy. And for some of you, you've been living your whole entire lives people-pleasing. I do feel like that's going to come up for you in the work department, and realize you just gotta stop. You know, so again, expect it to be happening all week long. Others, I feel, will realize they've spent their whole lives working, and they really never take any time or have anything to show for themselves except for work. Like, they have no life. So it's your whole life is not meant to be about work. Figure out your work-life balance. Take a look at that. It will be at the forefront. Those of you that are looking for jobs, again, not much happening in the job search department. Just keep looking. Don't give up. It's coming. I promise, it's coming. It will be a little tougher through the holidays, unless you're okay with just doing some temporary work, which I feel like, you know, do it. A paycheck is a paycheck. Love, committed relationships. I feel like your partner may be having a hard time at work that week, or it may be you, so make sure you're supporting each other. Some of you have been wondering if your long-term relationships will end or if they'll survive. For many, I feel like they're ending, and sorry, but not sorry. Stop wasting your time in unhappy, unhealthy relationships because you're afraid to be alone. You won't be. Obviously, those of you that are in happy, healthy relationships, you're just going to experience more deepening and deal with the day-to-day stuff. Those of you looking for love, I feel like some of you may meet someone who's in the financial field. So anybody, it could be banking, anything that has to do with financial stuff. I feel like you might meet someone that has that sort of a career, and it feels like there might be a big difference in your incomes. Have fun. It doesn't matter. It's not about money. It's about love. I do feel like there's commitments headed your way. To me, love is in the air between now and the first quarter of the new year and even beyond. Like, lots of you are going to be connecting with that person that you're going to have a long-term relationship with. Finances, some of you tie your worth to the amount of money you make. Stop. Money's just a tool. Some of you have a small surprise amount of cash coming your way, and I gotta hurry because I only have 60 seconds. Health, face negative feelings. Some of you still avoid and suppress. It's making you sick. Some of you are feeling like you're failures, and it's really wreaking havoc on your stress levels and health. Moderation is key for some of you this week. The holidays are upon us, and you want to make sure that you're not eating and drinking way too much. Balance. Spirituality, those of you who identify yourselves with your job, money, or status will be struggling this week if you don't begin to realize there's more to you than money and things. Others, I feel like balance is the theme in all areas. You'll see where you are out of balance and have the opportunity to make changes. Do it. You won't regret it at all. That wraps up the predictions for the week of November 23rd to November 30th. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I look forward to connecting with you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Have a good night.